Sai Ram. More than 3000 years ago, in a forested region in present-day Andhra Pradesh in India, was born in a hunter family a little boy who would grow up to become one of the greatest devotees of Lord Shiva. In fact, he is today revered, respected and worshipped as one among the 63 Nayanars saints. This is Kannappa. Kannappa, as I said, was born a hunter. He would go into the forests on a daily basis to hunt for survival, for food. One day, as Kannappa was roaming the forests near present-day Kalahasti, the Kalahasti temple, he came across a Shivalinga, a small temple with the Shivalinga. And it is possibly the merit of many of his previous births, he felt an irresistible attraction towards that Shivalinga. Dear brothers and sisters, this story made me realize many things. One among them is that if we feel attracted towards God, if we feel an inclination to turn towards spirituality, that also is a great blessing. We should treasure it and cherish it. That is what Kannappa had. Kannappa went to the lingam and just embraced it with all love. He felt so much love towards that lingam. And that is when he decided that every day he would come to this temple. Now when he came to the temple, he also observed that there was some worship, aradhana, that had been done to the lingam. There was a priest who would visit the temple early in the morning, do all the puja, worship, everything, and then go back home. And Kannappa felt this is the way that you are supposed to worship the lingam. So he decided that he too would do worship. So every day he also would bring water, flowers and food for his Lord Shiva. But how did he do it? Being a hunter, he would bring whatever animal he hunted, including swine, boars, deer, whatever animal he was able to hunt that day, that meat he will get in the evening. Along with it, he will get flowers. He would pluck flowers beforehand and put it in his headband, the flowers which he is going to offer it to Shiva. Just imagine, he is decorating himself with the flowers which he wants to offer Lord Shiva. Okay, the food is done, flowers is done. What about the drink? What about water? Water to worship the linga. Having no other means to carry the water, Kannappa would carry the water in his mouth. That is how he would do Abhisheka to the linga. He would spit water over the linga, then pull out flowers from his head and keep it on the linga, finally leave meat in front of the linga and walk away in the evening, only to come back again the next evening. The morning that poor priest would come and he would find the whole place defiled. He would feel, oh God, what is this? Who has done this? Shiva, Shiva. And he'll come and clean up the whole place again, take a bath again after that and then do worship. And he leaves. Evening, Kannappa comes, clears up the priest's flowers and offerings and gives his offering, and this goes on and on and on. On one occasion it is said that Mother Parvati asks Shiva, Lord, who is dearer to you? The priest who worships you so beautifully and wonderfully in the perfect manner in which the Shastras have ordained, or this Kannappa who is very innocent but offers all these things in such a defiling manner? And Lord Shiva says, let's check it out today. And on that day, it so happened that the priest and Kannappa both arrived to the temple at the same time. And then Lord Shiva decides to test the devotees. He gives a little shake. The whole temple begins to vibrate and the roof starts falling. The priest runs out of the temple to save his life. Kannappa runs and embraces and hugs the lingam. He doesn't want even one piece of the roof to fall. He puts his body as the shield for the Lord. It is in difficult times that we realize whether we are devoted to the Lord or not. In happy times, everybody can be devotees. But in tough times, do we run away from God and start criticizing Him? Or do we run towards God and embrace Him even more? That is the test of devotion that Kannappa passes. But Shiva doesn't stop there. The next morning, as the priest comes, he sees that the temple is still intact. It has not fallen from that earthquake. He is thrilled with joy because the Shivlinga opens its eyes. The two eyes. The Lord is now seeing his devotee. Every day the devotee would have darshan of the Lord. Today the Lord is having darshan of the devotee, and the priest is thrilled, overjoyed. He says, "Oh Shiva, my penance has borne fruit. Your karuna kataksham, your eyes of compassion have opened on me." But even as he says this, one eye of Shiva starts to bleed. And this is such an inauspicious thing. The Lord's eye is bleeding. The priest gets very nervous. He doesn't know what it means. He thinks, "Oh God, this is the greatest ill omen. Something bad is definitely going to happen." Again runs away. Then enters Kannappa. In fact, his name, Kannu. Kannu means eye. What is Kannappa's response? That is what has given him his name, Kannappa. What does he do? He says, "Oh Lord, you seem to be bleeding from one eye. You seem to have lost the use of one eye. Don't worry, I will give you my eye." Without a moment's pause or hesitation, he just pulls out an arrow from his quiver, digs it into his eye and plucks out his eye and goes and offers it to the lingam. He places it on Lord Shiva's eye and says, "Lord, you have it." Possibly the first ever eye transplant in human history was done by a devotee for the Lord. Whenever we give up the eye, the Lord embraces us, whether it's the EYE or just the I, the ego. Now Shiva doesn't stop there. The second eye also starts bleeding. Now if Kannappa plucks out his eyes, he'll have no eyes, right? But that is not Kannappa's worry. His worry is, when I pluck out this eye, how will I know where to place it, where to do the transplant? Because I can't see, right? And his other worry is, what if Lord Shiva starts bleeding from the third eye? I have only two eyes to offer. The devotee, the way he thinks, the feelings of the devotee are so rich. That is why God is Bhavapriya. He loves the feeling of the devotee. Kannappa comes up with a plan where he places his foot on the second eye of Shiva, so that when he plucks his eye, he knows where Shiva's eye is. He takes another arrow and is about to pluck the other eye, when Lord Shiva manifests before him and says, "My dear Kannappa, I am so pleased. I have your love, I don't need anything else." And Kannappa gets back his eyes, and that is how Kannappa became a Nayanar saint. His story teaches us that what we do for God, how we do it, doesn't matter as much as why we do it. When we do out of pure yearning and love, God responds, because God is Bhavapriya, a lover of feelings, and not Bahyapriya, or a lover of the external manifestations. When we wish to do Aradhana or worship to our dear Swami, it is this feeling that matters the most. How pure is our feeling? How loving is our feeling? It was the year 2004 or 2005 when we, the postgraduate students of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, decided to put up a small program in Bhagawan's presence. Those were the years when Swami would encourage us to put up what we called as the corridor place. Corridor place because in the small gap that existed between the first line where the students sat and where Swami sat on the stage, in that corridor we would perform the entire drama. No elaborate costumes, no music, no background sounds or sound effects, just simple heartfelt feelings communicated through a skit, through some talks, through some songs. In this, as part of this program, we had a small skit planned. This is a skit of Raja Parikshit, about how he got cursed, and because of that he goes to sage Shukamuni and tells, "Give me solace because I have been cursed." And Shukamuni then narrates the Bhagavatam to him. We are grateful to Raja Parikshit because of him we have the Bhagavatam, or the sweet stories of Lord Krishna. So how this curse came about is, Raja Parikshit goes and finds this sage in deep meditation. He is thirsty during the hunt. So he asked the sage, give me water, and the sage is lost in meditation, so he doesn't respond. Upset with the sage's non-response, King Parikshit picks up a dead snake that he finds nearby, and as a matter of venting out his frustration and anger, he puts it around the neck of the sage and walks off. That's when the sage's son comes there, Shringi, and gets very upset, and he takes a little water in his hand and curses that whoever did this to my father will die in 7 days. Well, that is the story, right? So we wanted to depict this. So one boy was selected to play the role of Parikshit. Now this was one of his first times he was acting in Swami's presence, and therefore, even though it was a simple role, he has to just come holding his throat saying, I'm thirsty, and then look around, ask the sage, and when the sage doesn't respond, put the snake around him and go. He is not able to do this. So we tried multiple rehearsals, but that feeling, it was not looking proper, and therefore we thought, hey, you're not getting the feel to the acting. If it is tough, no problem, we'll find some other actor to do this role. Now this boy, his name is Mahesh. Mahesh was very, very sad. He wanted to desperately do this role in Bhagawan's presence. So he said, brothers, please give me a chance. I'll do it. I'll try my best. So we said, okay, Mahesh, tomorrow morning we'll have a look. If you're not able to do, we'll replace. When I said tomorrow morning, the next day evening was our planned proposed program in Swami's presence. So we thought that even by morning, if we are able to replace him, it's okay, because it's a small role. Anybody will easily do it. You just have to, simple acting. The next day morning when Mahesh did this role, it seemed much better than what it was the previous evening. So we said, okay, Mahesh, you seem to be doing well, then fine, you continue doing the role. And he was very happy. In the evening, when this presentation was made, Swami blessed us to give us the opportunity to put up this presentation. That small part that Mahesh had to play as Raja Parikshit, he played it exceptionally well. It was very nicely done. He looked so convincing when he said that I'm thirsty. He looked so desperate, and then that's it. That was beautiful. The program concluded. Swami seemed very happy with the program, and usually when Swami is happy with the program, he rewards the main actor, with a gold chain or a ring or something like that. He materializes it by waving his hand. That day also, Swami waved his palm and materialized an emerald ring, a gold ring with an emerald set in it. We were all wondering which of the main characters would get this blessing and gift from Swami. And Swami calls Mahesh. Swami calls Mahesh and puts the ring to his finger and makes him stand beside him and pose for a photograph. I was really wondering, Swami, he did a good job, but that was not the best part in the drama. There were so many parts in the presentation that were so beautiful, and the actors and people have done it so well. Why did you choose Mahesh of all the people? We humans are Bhavapriyas. We see the externalities and make our judgment. God, Sai, Swami is Bhavapriya. He sees the feelings of the heart. Dear brothers and sisters, Mahesh was so desperate to do this role, but acting was not his forte. He decided to do something unimaginable. From that point of time in the evening, he didn't drink one drop of water and thirsted himself throughout, so that in the evening when he came in front of Bhagawan, when he said, I'm thirsty, it was so convincing because that boy was really thirsty. 24 hours of lack of water had parched him. No wonder he was so convincing. No wonder Swami felt he was the best, because he had given himself completely to the role. That is Swami, Bhavapriya. And as we worship him, as we pray to him, let us remember that the external show does not matter. What matters is what's in the heart. Then we may ask, why this vibhuti dot? Why the white dress? Why the clean shaven face? Externalities doesn't matter for God, right? Kannappa spat water. Kannappa ate meat. So why can't I love God by eating meat and dressing how I want? It's a natural secondary question that comes. When I thought of it, the answer that Swami inspired from within was that Kannappa didn't know. Had Kannappa known that Shiva likes an offering that is made of fruits, would he have ever offered the meat? Anything that the devotee does out of innocence and yearning, the Lord loves because he sees the feeling. On one occasion there was a boy who had taken his blood and written a letter to Swami. Swami was so pleased, Swami gave him a ring. After that, that became a fashion in the hostel, People would try writing letters to Swami with their blood. Swami just refused to take it also. Because when Swami had given this boy the ring, Swami told him, don't do such things, I don't like it. Now everybody knows that. Having known that Swami doesn't like us writing letters to him with our blood, if you still do it, then it's ego, it is just a show, it is not about doing what God likes. Had Kannappa known that Shiva likes the bilva leaves and not the meat, he would have definitely offered bilva leaves. It is just that he didn't know. So when we don't know, it is okay. But when I know that Swami has clearly said, I don't like meat being eaten, I don't like people who smoke, I don't like drinks, people should not drink, people should not smoke, people should not eat non-veg food. Then if we eat, it just shows that our love for meat is greater than our love for Swami. That's all. I'm not able to give it up. And in this, all of us are guilty. This is about non-vegetarian food, smoking and drinking. There are so many other things. Swami says we have to give up anger, we have to give up lust. I still struggle. I still struggle to give up anger, struggle to give up lust, struggle to give up greed, struggle to give up jealousy. Yes, but at least if I put effort, my Lord is so compassionate and loving that He will rejoice. Dear Swami, may our love for you keep growing every passing moment, and may every breath we take become an aradhana or a worship of you. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.